Yeah, wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of Biafra all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending your time zone and location. Today is 19th of August 2025. There is a video I'm going to show you. For those that's calling the Biafra Liberation Army caste snatchers, there is a very brutal war that is going on in Okigwe State all this while. And there is a guy, and this guy is my friend, but there is something that happened. I've been looking for this my guy, but now I now discovered that this guy was rescued from the Biafra Liberation Army camp the day the Zoo military people are fighting war there. So currently now, just watch the video how they are interviewing the guy and how the guy is saying his mind. That people should just watch this video and share, let it go viral, so that people will not say it's from my mouth. This one is direct from Biafra Liberation Army media office. Please, people should watch and share, let it go viral. Please, all of us of Biafrans.
Yeah, good morning everybody. I am one of the men on ground, and today we have our brother here. What is your name?
Raymond. My name is Raymond.
Where are you from?
I'm from Lagos State.
As in, what are you doing around Kibu?
So I was driving past, I was coming from Anambra, Oka, and going to Aba. I was using Google Map took me past Okigwe.
So when? Since when?
That was last week, Sunday. I think that was on the 10th.
On 10th?
Yeah, thereabout on the 10th.
So what happened? What actually happened? Because we are stopping you due to the war. You are hearing about the war since last week. Yes. That is going on in Okigwe.
Yes.
Okay. We stopped you and you were over speeding, and we don't want you to run to the enemies, so yes, that it will not be as if that we did not stop you, we did not warn you. We are the Biafran Liberation Army. Okay. Yes, we are the men on ground. Yes. So, and we are not afraid. Do we look afraid?
No.
Ever since that time, nothing have happened to your car?
Nothing.
Yes, you came back today. When did you come back to carry your car?
I came back yesterday.
Where have you been all this while? Since that day, since that intent, did anybody hurt you?
No. I left and I came back. I left on my own. I went back to Aba, and I came back yesterday.
Okay, to carry your car?
Yes.
Okay, because the car was spoiled?
Yes, because the tire was damaged, so I had to buy new tires to fix on the car.
Okay, since then, your car has been with us. We have nothing to do with the car. You are an innocent civilian of African continent. Yes. Precisely, we are in Bafra land right now. Where are you from?
I'm from Lagos State.
You are Yoruba or Hausa?
I'm Yoruba.
Okay. We have problem with nobody. We are only agitating for the freedom of Biafra, as you can see, and we don't look afraid. Do we look afraid?
No.
Do we look like people that are criminals?
No.
Like, do we look like somebody who will take your thing by force without proper something, without any offense?
No, so far they've not taken anything by force from me.
So I want to ask you, what is your experience now, as you are with us for some minutes now or some hours ago? Do we look many people are describing us dangerous? Many people say we are human eaters. Many people say if you come across us, you will never go scot-free. Is that true? I want you to at least...
Well, from my own experience, that's not the case. My own experience has been quite different. So I will speak from my experience. From what I've experienced, that's not true. From what I've experienced, that's not true. They've been fair enough to me. Nobody has hurt me since I've been here.
None of your material, your item is lost?
No, none of my materials is missing.
Okay, thank you very much. Biafrans and the world, people all over the world, I want to use this opportunity to remind you people that the men on ground are not afraid of anything. We are only doing the needful. Protecting Biafra land is our work. And we are Biafran Liberation Army. And we are going to fight this fight to the end. This our brother is from Yoruba land, and we are with him since 10th. and he has go and come back to carry his car. This is not about tribalism. This is about us, we the Igbos, getting our own nation. We are not against anybody. I want to use this opportunity to tell the people of the world that Biafra Liberation Army is only fighting for the freedom of every Igbo race. So I want to also make it clear, because sometimes people misunderstand us. People don't really understand who we are. We are not human eaters. I have never eaten anybody's flesh before. The only thing we are against are people that are against us. Anybody that is against Biafra Liberation Army, anybody that is against the restoration of Biafra, we are also against the person. So that is the only different thing between what people are saying and the original self as in who we are. And we are not afraid, we are not hiding ourselves. Thank you very much for watching this wonderful video. Thank you.
My attention has been drawn over the circulating information, voice notes of somebody, Eze Monachimso, from Umopara Umololo Okigwe, that is reporting to his co-master, Ebekodike. I don't want to respond because it is unnecessary, but there is a reason why I have come up to debunk that. The father of that boy that is parading himself as agent of Ebekodike, his father is one of the top Ebubago commander that stood to fight the men on the ground when we are fighting against Fulanis at Ekpora. And on the process of the ongoing war in the land of Okigwe, on the process, the father died. And his son started where his father started, as giving out information. So to cut it all short, I want the international communities to understand that freedom fighters, we are freedom fighters, and as long that we are fighting for our freedom, nobody has any right to pass any judgments against freedom fighters. We are freedom fighters, and I want those who knew the history of freedom fighters to go and study the history of freedom fighters. I want to use this opportunity to address the international world, the international communities, that there is also ongoing war that is going on in Okigwe, and Olo. As I am reporting this information, there's on genocide war that is going on. But the reason why I have come to debunk that voice note that is going around the social media is that I want Biafrans to know, to understand who is Ebekodike. Ebekodike is one of the agents of Nigeria who has a contract in order to rehabilitate Fulanis to take over our land. And he is purely working for Fulanis. And the voice that is that boy, Munatimso, that is reporting to him is one of his agents, his informants. And I am here also to remind the Biafrans that even Mazinam, they can made it open that no saboteur will live in the land of Biafra. So I want Biafrans to disregard that accusations, that allegation, whether those who are using the voice notes to blog or to analyze. No matter the way you analyze that voice note, remember that enemy remains enemy, and all the names, all the voice notes you are hearing are the enemies of Biafra, of which that have worked in one way or the other in order to pull down the men on the ground. Let me ask you, Munatimso, don't you know that your father is a gay man? Don't you know that even though that your father is a leader of Ebubago, don't you know that your father is sleeping with other men, even in the same village? Are you not aware? Why don't you tell your master Ebekodike I am here to debunk you, and I am here also to warn you to desist. Because if you don't desist, the gods of the land will strike you dead, because you okay, you don't know. You don't know that your voice will come out of social media, and every colleague of whom you are feeling that you are reporting, you are doing something good too, in order to blackmail us. Nobody can blackmail us. Number one, we are not a terrorist. Go about us. We are not a terrorist. Your allegations are baseless. We are not a kidnapper. Your allegations are baseless. We are not a killer. Your allegations are baseless. Our weapons, our arms is not against civilians. But any civilians that volunteer himself to be an informant against us, to be an enemy against what we are doing, against the Biafra struggle we are into, the head of that person will go the same way Nigerian army are going down. The same way Nigerian police are going down. But I want to use this also to inform Nigerians, to inform Yorubas, to inform the Southeast, and to inform the international community, for them to understand that the only thing that is selling in Nigeria is lies, propaganda. Nigeria know how to carry propaganda. And that's why I have come to debunk that verse note that DOS, the elders of Biafra, when you watch that verse note, it is only DOS that is carrying that verse note. They are the one that spreading it. And who are the DOS? The people who rebel the mass in Amdekano. The people who work against Simoneta. And the people who hijacked. Who want to hijack what we are doing, but we resist them. So DOS are the agent of Fulanis that the federal government of Nigeria are using in order to destabilize, to bring insecurity into Biafra land. So I want you Biafrans to disregard. I am here by the office of Major General Diyawu, as Biafrans are also encouraged to pray for Major General Diyawu and the other general commanders that for quick recovery. And I believe that Chukwukika Biama will never allow Biafrans to cry. And I challenge you that is hearing me to go and carry out the investigations over those who bring the insecurity in Oso. And they are the one now that is bringing the insecurity in Okigwe in order to kill our people. I am here to asking you, dear friends, and all the lovers of freedom, to disregard the propaganda of DOS/Nigeria terrorist governments.
You know, the truth is that a lot of lies and propaganda rather, have been actually circulated, you know, just to create an agenda against the Biafran Liberation Army. But one thing I can tell you is that despite the whole lies and propaganda, you know, the Biafran Liberation Army are stuck in making sure that they do not lose their focus. And that is, first of all, protecting Biafrans and also doing the needful in order, you know, to fight for the independent state of Biafra. A lot of things have actually occurred, you know, currently. You know, we've seen massacres here and there by the Janjaweed terrorist army, you know, unaliving innocent Biafrans and all that. But the reality is that despite the fact that they unalive innocent Biafra, they still find a way to push the blame to the Biafran Liberation Army. And that is why, you know, that young man in that video comes out as many times as possible to debunk the information being circulated, you know, by the Zoo media. I dropped a video yesterday, you know, where these you know, international organizations were able to expose the atrocities and the genocides being committed, you know, here and there in Biafran land by the Zoo terrorist army. I was able to, you know, make that information very clear. In fact, let me play the video so that you will understand that both international communities are already aware of what is happening in Biafran land. And the truth is that sooner or later, the needful will be done. Make sure you share this video to as many groups and platforms as possible. God bless you.
Amnesty International is an organization that holds a mirror up to the world, showing nations the parts of themselves they would rather ignore. It is a global watchdog, a group of people dedicated to documenting human rights abuses wherever they occur, from the grandest capitals to the most remote villages. On August 14th, 2025, this organization turned its mirror towards Nigeria, specifically its southeastern region, and what it reflected was a landscape of terror and bloodshed. The report they released was not just a collection of statistics, it was a chronicle of pain, detailing a crisis where both the state and shadowy armed groups have engaged in a relentless campaign of violence, leaving a trail of dead bodies and shattered lives in their wake. The report's central accusation is that Nigerian security forces have been involved in extrajudicial killings. This is a cold clinical term for something brutal and simple: murder by the state. It means that soldiers or police officers, people who are paid to protect citizens, are instead acting as judge, jury, and executioner on the streets. They are killing people without the due process of a trial, without evidence presented in a court, and without any legal authority. This is a fundamental violation of human rights and the rule of law. When the very institutions meant to uphold the law become lawless, they create a vacuum of fear and impunity where no one is safe and justice becomes an impossible dream for the common person. According to Amnesty International's meticulous research, which involved interviews with over 100 people between April and November of 2023, the scale of this violence is staggering. The report documents the killing of more than 1,800 people between January 2021 and June 2023. These are not just numbers. Each one represents a person with a family, a story, and a future that was stolen from them. The findings paint a picture of a region caught in a deadly pincer movement, squeezed between the heavy-handed, often illegal actions of government forces and the merciless violence of various armed gangs who roam the land with impunity, enforcing their own brutal form of order. The problem is not new, but it has grown into a festering wound. Amnesty has been documenting abuses in the region for years, noting a severe crackdown on pro-Biafra activists as far back as 2016. However, this latest report highlights a dangerous escalation, a descent into a chaotic free-for-all, where the lines between law enforcement and criminal activity have become horrifyingly blurred. The government's failure to address these long-standing grievances and its reliance on brute force have only fueled the cycle of violence, creating an environment where armed groups thrive and ordinary citizens are left to navigate a world defined by constant danger and the ever-present threat of a violent summary death. To understand the crisis in southeast Nigeria, one must first understand the cast of characters involved, each playing a role in the tragedy. On one side you have the state actors, the Nigerian military, the National Police Force, and a state-backed paramilitary group known as Ebube AGU. These are the official guardians of security, tasked with maintaining order and protecting the lives and property of citizens. Yet Amnesty's report accuses them of being primary perpetrators of the violence. They are implicated in extrajudicial executions, torture, arbitrary arrests where people are taken without charge, and enforced disappearances, where individuals are seized and their families are left with no information about their fate or whereabouts. The creation of Ebube AGU on April 11, 2021 by the southeastern governors was meant to be a local solution to a growing security problem. The name itself translates to Awe of the Lion. Instead of instilling a sense of security, however, the group has reportedly become a source of terror for many communities. Amnesty's findings suggest that Ebube AGU operates with little accountability, often harassing and intimidating anyone perceived as a critic of the government. This paramilitary force, alongside the military and police, stands accused of carrying out brutal operations that frequently fail to distinguish between armed separatists and innocent civilians, leading to the deaths of people who were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. On the other side of this conflict are the non-state actors, a complex and murky web of groups often lumped together under the label unknown gunmen. This vague term covers a wide array of perpetrators, including armed separatist groups like the Eastern Security Network, the armed wing of the indigenous people of Biafra, as well as various criminal gangs and cults who take advantage of the chaos for their own gain. These groups are responsible for their own share of horror, attacking police stations, government facilities, and community events. They have turned parts of the southeast into ungoverned spaces, where their word is law and defiance is met with death. The Nigerian government often blames all attacks by these unknown gunmen squarely on IPOB and its security network, the ESN. However, the reality on the ground, as reported by Amnesty, is far more complicated. While separatist groups are indeed involved in the violence, many of the attacks are carried out by purely criminal enterprises that have no political agenda beyond profit and terror. Residents in affected areas often know exactly where the camps of these gunmen are located, suggesting a troubling lack of will or capacity from security forces to confront them directly, choosing instead to engage in sweeping, indiscriminate raids that terrorize entire communities. In the crossfire between these warring factions, it is the ordinary people of southeast Nigeria who pay the highest price. Their lives are circumscribed by fear, their livelihoods have been destroyed, and their basic right to exist peacefully has been stolen. The violence is not an abstract concept. It has a human face and a personal cost.